Hey everyone, so glad you're joining me today. We are jumping right into an explainer of a seriously powerful parable called The Backpack of Stones. It's this fascinating narrative that, honestly, just perfectly captures the hidden emotional weight we all carry around every single day, usually without even realizing it. We're going to break down the actual mechanics of anger and forgiveness today, and we're not just looking at them as abstract concepts, but as very real, literal physical burdens.
The whole core of this is captured perfectly right here. Holding on to anger hurts you more than the person you're angry with. I mean, that is a bold statement, isn't it? As we go through this explainer today, I want to challenge you right off the bat to really mull over this premise. I want you to consider the true cost of your own unresolved anger. Is it actually serving you, or is it just dragging you down?
All right, let's get into Section 1, the unforgiving student, Ayan's flaw.
So our source material introduces us to this young guy named Ayan. He's a student at a super prestigious engineering college. And from the outside, the guy was your classic high achiever. We're talking highly intelligent, extremely disciplined, incredibly ambitious. He was absolutely on the fast track to success. But he had this one fatal, honestly exhausting flaw. He literally never forgave anyone.
Let's look at how these grudges actually played out in his day-to-day life. If a friend forgot to invite him somewhere, he didn't just brush it off. No way. He remembered it for years. If someone criticized him, he would actively replay those exact words in his mind, like a broken record, every single night before bed. And if a teammate made a simple mistake, well, that meant the silent treatment forever. This constant tally of wrongdoings was so bad that his roommate, Rahul, actually noticed Ayan was just living under this heavy, constant cloud of stress.
Moving on to Section 2, the backpack experiment, the leadership camp.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the inciting incident of our story happens when their college professor suddenly announces a surprise leadership camp. But right before they leave for the trip, the professor does something really bizarre. He hands out an empty backpack to every single student in the class, along with a massive pile of small stones. And the instructions he gives are just fascinating. He tells them, for every person you're still angry with, put one stone into your backpack. It's such a strange physical request for what is essentially an entirely internal emotional problem. He is literally asking them to quantify their resentment.
Now, Ayan actually smiled confidently at this task. He felt completely justified in his anger. So he just started adding stones. One, then another, and another. He confidently loaded up that bag until he hit a staggering number, 18. 18 active, heavy grudges that he was consciously choosing to hold on to and pack right into his bag.
Which brings us to Section 3, the weight of anger, a 3-day burden.
So once the backpacks were fully loaded up, the professor issues a very strict mandate to the whole class. They have to carry this backpack everywhere they go for the next 3 days. No exceptions at all. Sleeping, eating, walking to class, the bag stays with them. Let's really track this progression here. On day 1, carrying those stones seemed perfectly easy to Ayan. It was kind of just a novelty. But as we roll into day 2, the physical toll sharply escalates. His shoulders started to legitimately hurt. His back is aching. Just climbing the normal stairs on campus became this remarkably difficult task. By the time day 3 rolled around, even a simple walk to class felt like an absolute unbearable burden. The sheer exhaustion of lugging around those 18 stones was entirely overwhelming.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core issue when the professor gathered everyone together on the 3rd day and asked how their backpacks felt. The contrast was just staggering. Most students only had 2 or 3 stones, so they barely even noticed the weight as they went about their days. But then there was Ayan. 18 stones. For him, the weight was agonizing, entirely overwhelming, and, here's the kicker, completely self-inflicted.
All right, Section 4, the professor's lesson, the weight of grudges.
So we've reached the climax of the story. Ayan sighs super heavily and just admits to the whole group that his backpack feels unbearable. And the professor? He just smiles, because he knew exactly what was happening all along. He looks at him and says, "That's exactly how anger works. Every grudge you carry becomes another stone." Man, what a powerful visual metaphor. The professor explained that the person who hurt you or slighted you, they might have forgotten the incident long, long ago. They aren't carrying anything. They are living freely. But you are still carrying its crushing weight around with you every single day. And when he said this, the room, as you can imagine, fell completely silent.
That evening, the professor gave him one final instruction. If you're ready to forgive someone, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace, remove one stone.
Notice the phrasing there, right? It's about your peace, not their absolution. Ayan hesitated at first. I mean, it is genuinely hard to let go of things that feel so justified. But then he thought about an old friend, and he reached in and he removed one stone. And he felt just a tiny bit lighter. Then he remembered an estranged cousin he hadn't spoken to in years. Another stone came out.
Well, by sunset that evening, Ayan's backpack was almost completely empty. The immense physical and emotional relief he experienced in that moment was completely life-changing. For the first time in years, he actually felt light. He had finally made the conscious decision to let go of his anger.
Let's look at Section 5, Freeing Your Future, Ayan's application.
Because this isn't just a nice little story, it has massive real-world applications. Months after this leadership camp, Ayan became the captain of a college project team. And instead of taking sides when things got heated, he implemented this really simple process. Whenever teammates began to argue, Ayan would just simply, quietly place a small stone on the center of the table. He didn't need to yell. Actually, he didn't need to say a single word. The arguments ended quickly. Everyone in his circle knew exactly what that stone meant. It was this brilliant visual reminder of the useless weight of anger, and it instantly diffused the tension.
Fast forward years later, and our source tells us Ayan became a highly successful entrepreneur. But interestingly enough, he kept that very same empty backpack right there in his professional office. Whenever visitors asked him why it was there, he would smile and share this piece of wisdom with them. Life becomes easier the moment you stop carrying unnecessary stones. It served as this constant, physical anchor for his mindset.
Which really brings us to the final overarching moral of the parable. If there is one single thing you take away from this explainer today, let it be this. Forgiveness doesn't change the past, it frees your future. It's such an incredibly clear and vital takeaway. By forgiving, you aren't validating what happened or pretending it didn't hurt you. You are simply choosing not to let that past event dictate and weigh down the days you have ahead of you.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer, leaving us with one very, very important question. How heavy is your backpack today? I really want to leave you with that powerful, lingering thought. Just take a moment to reflect on your own unresolved grudges. Are you carrying 18 stones around your office, your home, your life? Or are you traveling light? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it brought you some clarity today, and I will see you next time.